Good morning, this is part 2 of the wind tunnel project where we will find our source of thrust. First of all, since I do not have a 100 volt power supply, I could not use this small scavenge motor which could have worked great for the fan. But luckily, I have stumbled across this handheld blender which can provide very high speeds as well as some very high torque. This indeed makes it the perfect candidate for the project. So I am hot gluing to the motor shaft this medium-sized 3D printed propeller as a mean for temporary tests. Therefore, I can see that I get quite a bit of wind moving. For the moment, everything is working great. Moreover, I have finally found an injection molded bigger propeller which indeed will give us much better results later on. Now I am prototyping the wind tunnel enclosure out of cardboard. My first bottom piece was too big and so I had to make another one. Now that this piece is hot glued in place, I can start making the outer walls by computing the radius of my circle. The formula is 2 times pi times r when r is the radius of your circle. Moreover, when I was doing a quick test, my propeller came off, which indeed makes the machine very dangerous. This is why I melt a hole in the propeller in order to be able to drive in a screw which will give the hot glue some much better gripping surface. I applied a whole lot of glue in order to make sure that the propeller won't come off again. Using 2-component epoxy glue would give a stronger bond, but it takes us 2 hours to dry and I was short on time. Back to the enclosure making, the previous design didn't give the propeller any air in the intake, though the bottom, and thus it cannot produce any thrust at the output. This is why I sliced the ring into smaller pieces and attach it with some new angle brackets. Unfortunately, this design is not strong enough to allow us to attach the motor to the walls. So I have made some solid cubes out of cardboard which will be pretty strong and give us a good gripping force. After another test, I have found that the walls are too small and thus that the propeller destroyed in less than half a second the cardboard. I told you guys that this project is not that safe. Moving forwards, I can now cut a bigger piece of cardboard and roll it into a cylinder. I can now hot glue the motor and it is now working, we're moving air. In part 3, we will add a safety cage, finish the enclosure, and we should reach the end of the project. See you guys then!